Good Tuesday morning. This is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing. This briefing is typically on Mondays and Fridays, but because of the Columbus Day holiday, we'll be issuing this product for today. Looking at precipitation over the past 7 days, quite dry across most of Nevada and Utah. It's not until you get towards the Idaho border where we see some scattered light precipitation. It's not until the far northern portions of our mountains of central Idaho and into parts of western Wyoming and far eastern Idaho that we see this shade of green, about a ½ inch to locally near an inch of rainfall. So it's been quite a drying trend across a good portion of our area. A look at our infrared satellite imagery. We see that we have a front pushing through the eastern portion of the Great Basin, exiting into the country's midsection, but another series of storms off the Pacific that are making a beeline for the west coast. So we're going to be in a kind of a stormy period over the next several days, with maybe a brief one-day ridge of high pressure between before another system comes in, and that's overall pretty good for smoke dispersion, but it could bring some added wetness, and some areas up in Idaho could be too wet for any large-scale burning operations. So looking at our overall dispersion today, our ventilation index areas in the white indicate excellent overall dispersion. Seeing just a few localized pockets across western Nevada and maybe near the Great Salt Lake and northwest Utah, which could be slightly worse. Otherwise, no significant issues. And breaking down those individual components, on the left, transport winds, you can see quite strong across Idaho and parts of Wyoming, and even across a good portion of the Intermountain Range of Utah into the Arizona Strip. A bit lighter where we have that lesser dispersion level across western Nevada. And on the right-hand side, you can see our mixing heights. Anything in the yellow to red indicates good overall mixing above 3,000 feet and locally above 5,000 feet in some areas. And looking forward tomorrow, starting with the upper level map on the left-hand side, you see a weak ridge of high pressure building in. We have drier air across Idaho, but because of this high pressure area, if we look to the right, you can see our dispersion starts going down a bit. Areas in the yellow indicate lower overall ventilation type indices, and areas in the red indicate poor overall dispersion. So we're going to keep that in mind. That'll be temporary because there is a Pacific storm system that will be approaching. On the transport wind level for tomorrow, you can see how much lighter the winds are, especially across Nevada and Utah on the left. On the right-hand side, the mixing heights also significantly lower, less orange and more in the greenish and blue shades, which is about 1,000 to 3,000 feet above ground level. Now on Thursday, we see a powerful Pacific storm system here on the left. These darker green and bluish shades indicate where heavy windswept rains and mountain snows will occur, and some of that will get into the far northwest corner of Nevada. But on the right-hand side, with that approaching storm system, you see how our air cleans out. Areas in the white indicate overall excellent dispersion. Breaking that down individually, transport winds on the left, you can see much stronger with that storm system pushing in. These areas in the orange to purple are transport winds 30 to 40 miles an hour. On the right-hand side, you can see more yellows and oranges in terms of the overall vertical mixing. Now, a bit more specific for Utah, produced by the National Weather Service. The Utah Clearing Index, also it's kind of like our ventilation index, indicates really good conditions here in Utah today. Going downhill tomorrow, on Wednesday, the bluish shades indicate lower overall dispersion, but things start improving a bit in many areas on Thursday. Our 3-day precipitation accumulation, this takes us from Tuesday morning through Friday morning, and you can see with that storm system pushing into the Pacific Northwest, bringing precipitation to far northwest Nevada, but also into the mountains of Idaho, possibly over an inch of rainfall up in the McCall area. And now looking at Friday, we see on the left-hand side the storm system pushes across most of the Great Basin. The darker green shades are where steady rain and snow could be occurring. On the right-hand side, that means overall dispersion under a stormy type scenario is pretty good in all areas, so no major concerns through there. Then on Saturday, we see that that one storm system departs, another one approaches from the Gulf of Alaska into the Pacific Northwest. So we're in a good storm series. So on the right-hand side, no problems at all with our overall dispersion. Areas in the white indicate excellent dispersion. Precipitation, you can see on, this is from Friday morning through Sunday morning. Across Idaho, the best amounts, 2.5 inches of precipitation expected in the McCall area. Otherwise, that darker green shade indicates a 1/4 inch or more, so that'll affect northern areas of Nevada and Utah and into western Wyoming as well. Areas to the south staying dry. And then on Sunday, that storm system that pushes into the Pacific Northwest now plows again across the Great Basin, especially the northern half, staying dry across southern Nevada and the Arizona Strip. On the right-hand side, again, overall, we have pretty good dispersion conditions. This is for Sunday. And then next Monday, we're kind of in between storm systems again. A brief ridge of high pressure builds in, but there's another front approaching Oregon and Northern California. So a little bit lower dispersion on Monday, especially across parts of Nevada where you see the yellow and the red. Precipitation accumulation during this time period, these are days 6 and 7, Sunday through next Tuesday morning, and it looks like the heaviest amounts again across parts of Idaho and we'll also have significant amounts across the northern Wasatch into western Wyoming, but across southern Utah, Arizona Strip, southern half of Nevada, we stay mainly dry. And looking at our extended 8 to 14 day outlook, a much cooler than normal signal. This is October 18th to the 24th, so we're expecting a numerous series of storms bringing cooler than normal temperatures. And on the right-hand side, our precipitation chances are better than normal. And of course, normally by the time you get into mid-October, you do get 1 or 2 storms a week, so we should be getting at least that much, if not a bit more. So on the wet side for the week 2 outlook. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day. Our next briefing on the smoke dispersion will be this coming Friday.